Alright, as I walk, I got a mile to go to the college just to look at. I brought a trash bag with me, and I'm just plotting spots where I'll have to take a big poop if needed, because I haven't in some time and I need to be prepared. And I'm just looking at places. I'm like, I can duck behind here, I can sneak over there. No one should see me over in this spot. I'm just plotting areas that I could stop at in case an emergency happens. Not anywhere there, because I am sure there's not going to be a single bathroom available anywhere, and so I have to start planning on that and hoping that I don't get caught if I have to go. All right, I think I'm gonna try Harbor Freight. They look like they're open at this hour, and I remember using bathrooms in a Harbor Freight in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So there's a chance, and they're open on pretty early on a Sunday, I think. And then there's a porta potty outside that I'll check out, but I'll check out what's in the store first. Memorial art. How'd you like to be a cemetery artist? Alright, I think there's a couple of colleges around. I'm just checking out one within a mile of Dillons. There's supposed to be a library. I mistakenly marked it as one that's public, but it's really for the college. Those are not my first choices to go to. Alright, the dorms are really nearby. They got a lot of dorms. Every student lives in a dorm, I think. But, well, that was before Corona. It's all dorms here. And you see the entry sign. You can already tell this is a very different kind of university with the dorms being in front. They got dorms in front of the entrance like this. It's really different. Methodist Episcopal Church. They turn all the U's into V's. Usually I would expect it to be pretty quiet on a Sunday anyway. And it is. 1886? Had a neat little waterfall. I could walk up to it, but I'm curious about what's over here. I so frequently hear references to the name Karen quite a bit for a common woman in her middle ages who complains. That's my generation. They're picking on Generation X females who have that sense of entitlement because it's the older woman, but not so old that she's elderly like a baby boomer. It really is picking on a particular group of people, female Gen Xers, maybe some Gen Ys or whatever that year they come into the factor, but it's definitely within the middle age range, which is my age range. Alright, so what caught my attention is pretty much this sports complex. Somebody took the time to make a metal statue of a coyote. You could have spent your time doing something better. Their sports team is called the Coyotes. Well, they are pretty vicious. Alright, look at this. They got their rules. Highlighted is Toolbox Talks. Oh my god. Alright, next to the sports complex. Go Coyotes! You go around the corner of this building, and they got these crazy designs on their building. And then they decide to put a volleyball area next to it. Look how stretched out it is. It looks like people have fallen in it. I think they stretched it out. This is all just to put some window wells. Who designed this? This looks awful. Just for some window wells? Couldn't they have done that better? Nice strap. Ooh. I like this strap. Nice 2-inch wide. Very obscure. Gotta be careful. This is a garden. Looks like just an area they decided not to mow. I don't see any edibles that I can identify, at least. There might be some in there. It's like this university was designed by a World War I soldier with all these trenches. They're ready for some trench warfare if a battle had to occur around the university. You don't even see it. A person could pop their head up, duck their head behind it pretty easily. This is a giant quaking aspen tree. Those leaves look similar. I'm not sure how else to identify it though. On the university property, they got a well because they live like pioneers out here. All right, meditation for mediation, prayer or mediation. This is a meditation labyrinth. Yeah, you just need somewhere you could pace back and forth. I have trouble finding them. Practice dropped off. Oh, it's connected to paganism. So they started associating pagans. Meditation grow again in the 19th. Well, it really hasn't grown in America. 7 rings, 4 quadrants. Oh, they have to look specific. A boulder bed. So they put all these features in. The ginkgo tree. There's a ginkgo tree? They say the ginkgo tree. It might be the one with small leaves. Huh, interesting. The number 3 placed behind the wooden cross represents the symbolism. Alright, by sheer luck I found my way to the center of the labyrinth. So I guess you walk back and forth. They painted it. That saves some money. What gets my attention from this spot is you're coming over here and they don't have a single book in their little free library. Take what you need. They took everything. Maybe this is a food library. I see circles for cans, not so much for books. That's their food bank in the labyrinth. That's a little historic, not a part of the tradition, non-traditional. All right, so they call it the blessing box. Right, we got a political activist over here. I'm just a little curious. What is this? Pardon the pities? And then some kind of a dog activism. Breed specific? It looks old though. They haven't taken their signs down. Alright, welcome back into familiar territory over around the mall here. They have pretty good Wi-Fi connection. Oop, I think a dog hears me. Poochie! Since the female grackle tends to be silent, I think the male grackle has to make up for that silence by being extra noisy It's kind of like Penn and Teller, where Penn is the one who does all the talking. So he's really a noisy guy, and he speaks for two people. And that's what the male grackles do. They speak for two grackles. One of the things that really amused me about grackles calls is that there's a couple of calls where they're at a near whisper, where you're wondering, grackle, how are your friends gonna hear you if you're gonna whisper? Do this, just this really airy type of like siren sound, and it's like, grackle, you probably want to speak up in all of your tweets, not just do this little airy whisper. And then they'll turn around and have a call where they sound like they got pinched or something. They're like, wee! And it's just such a range. It's so amusing. Whoops. So I was sleeping and I heard all this noise when these people pulled up, and I was like, why is that guy playing around in the bed of his truck so much? It's because he's got this thing stamping around. Caged calf. Can't really move too much. I guess this hasn't been used in a while. Wonder if they stripped the... No, if they stripped copper, they would have pulled those wires, I'm sure. There were some wires in there that looked like they... What is the deal? Some free drinks. Yeah, obviously this building has been not been used for a long time. No meter? No meter? A brewery? COVID didn't affect their business. You can look through the window. I've been trying to sell it for over a year. I think that's, well, stuff. The other states have different standards for taking down the electrical meters. Look at that, it's Dick Marshall. They just got this parked right here. What's under there? It's pretty grimy. Interesting. I wonder if it's probably still being used. These are my wake up alarms in parking lots. Alright, we got the garbage. See a couple of things. Some things were dropped. And they've sat here a long time. 2020. Well, they haven't sat too long. Maybe a year. Got a bunch of dog calendars. I don't know what business this is. Corgi calendar. They wouldn't sell fast enough, or they just expected. They always make more than they need. I'm noticing this one female grackle grabbing like straw and bringing it into this tree. It's just her, the female. None of the males seem to be helping. There's two males that are just flying around doing whatever. Alright, I had somebody run a red light right in front of me through the intersection, and luckily I took my time sort of going forward, so we did not get into an accident. That was crazy. They had a red light, I had a green light, and they just flew right through in front of me. That could have been a disaster. Right, oh my god. Oh, that's dying. Alright, I don't know what's going on with this GoPro battery. I think I might want to detach it. It's been dying a lot recently, and I gotta wonder, is it dying?
Turn left on South 9th straight.
Are the batteries dying on their own? Or are they being drained by the camera? 8% when I left it at like 90% 2 days ago? That's odd. Alright, is he? I can't tell. Oh, alright. Okay, yes, this way.
1 mile.
Alright.
Turn right on West Claflin Avenue.
Alright, so yeah, this is a drive to Oakdale Park in Salina. And yeah, I just gotta stay there all day. I'm gonna try to stay there all day, but I need to find somewhere, I need to find a bathroom. That's a challenge now. They've blocked all the bathrooms for Corona, and I haven't really seen any spots I could go from the map. I need to go there, this park, and then explore around and see what they would have, and carry a garbage bag with me for backup, because that seems to be what it's gonna probably come down to.